Hey, everybody, welcome. Hello. Captain RG3 bringing you one more episode of Burn It All. Today, we're going to be talking about not a brand of cigar, but a actual vitola of a cigar, which is in cigar world, a vitola is the actual size, meaning the length and the girth of the cigar. So we'll be bringing the fellas on, and we'll be talking about the Churchill in just a minute. Yo, 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 what's up, fellas? How you doing?
Hola. How are you?
Crispy. And
Buenas tardes.
What's that? Well, buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes.
Well, welcome. We're all here, ready to roll, and I see that everybody's got their Churchills, correct?
I've got my Churchills. Mine's kind of dead serious, right? This is when we went down to see Randy down in Panama. I got a Cuban Romeo and Juliet 1875 nice cigar. A little bit pricey, so I've got my Panama hat on, got my Panama shirt on. I've got a sweet cream vanilla cold brew going. So I'm completely set up for this cigar this week.
You're ready to roll. And Crispy, what do you have today?
I got me a digger.
A digger?
Nice. It's an LFD.
Like from last week.
Yeah, it's from the same company, but this is the digger version. Bigger is digger, I guess.
The bigger digger.
It's Churchill version. Churchill.
Right on. Well, we'll be talking about what Churchill is and why they call these a Churchill, but I will be smoking a Monte Cristo white that has been sitting in my humidor for a good year. It's nice and aged. But to let everybody know, this Monte Cristo is not a Cuban Monte Cristo like Triplet Dad's. Romeo y Julieta. If you don't know, there are American versions of all of the Cuban cigars. So the Cohibas, the Monte Cristos, the Romeo y Julietas, the Punches, all of those cigars that are Cuban cigars have a twin over here in the U.S. because of the embargo. We can't get Cuban tobacco here. So that's why the big mystique with the Cuban cigar. But they have their knockoff. So if you think China has been knocking the U.S. off on their products for very long, don't be we did it first with cigars. So we'll be talking about that here in a little bit. But we also may be having another guest on. He was invited. He's from over there in from the East Coast over there in Florida. Our buddy Scuba Steve might be joining us. I saw he got his cigar, so he may be popping in a little later. So when he does, we'll bring him up. But let's go ahead and slash and burn, guys, and get these things rolling because I am ready.
I'm going with a cedar plank today, you guys.
Oh, look at you, Mr. Classy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm going. Yeah, I'm going to get this.
I'm going with cedar. I'm going with cedar this week.
V-cut.
I'm gonna light with a little piece of cedar and do just a normal little punch here at the bottom.
You know what I got? Steve's got the wrong deal too. Hold on, let me send this over to him. Let's see here. Hold on a second.
A little bit of touch up here.
Yeah, I was out running around at cigar shops today. What fun that was! That was cool. Can't wait to tell that story. Let me just let Steve know that he has the wrong link.
Do you want me to DM him to him on Telegram?
I got it to him. He's good. There we go.
So packed my bong for this. Very nice. Very nice.
So we've got, hey,
Very
whatever you got, go ahead and light it up. That's we're okay with that. To
adult
each his own.
beverages, cigars, coffee, hookah. What you
Yeah,
got?
whatever you got. You know, it's chill time. All right, let me. I've been waiting to fire this thing up. Oh boy, what do we got? We got a lighter issue. Nope, there we go. Do a little toast. Toast in the foot. Oh, it looks like Steve just popped in. Let's see here.
Kind of, if I had a little narrower face, like lost maybe another 40 pounds, maybe I would look like Papa B with this hat on.
Mm-mm. All right, there he is. I'm gonna bring him up. All right, everybody. We got a guest tonight. Our buddy Steve. What's happening, Steve? How you doing, buddy?
What's going on, guys? It's
Yeah, Steve.
it's a little darker out here than I thought it would be. I may find a better setup. How
It
am I
looks
coming
good.
through though?
Looks good. Not bad.
Yeah, you're coming through
Awesome.
good, bud.
No,
Well, it's good to see you guys.
Nice to
I
see
see
you.
I see I'm a little bit late.
Mm-mm. We just started.
We just
And,
lit, buddy.
We just lit up, so you're good. We had the wrong link in there. Oh, I had the wrong link. I can't blame anybody else but myself.
It's all
so,
good.
Yeah,
What
I
cigar
appreciate
do you have, Steve?
what cigar did you get?
Well, I got a couple, but the one I'm gonna actually smoke tonight, which I'm pretty new to all this. Actually, it's funny you asked me because I just started really, I guess, smoking cigars in the last like 2 months. Been traveling a lot. Went to that Jetson Capital event. That was a pretty common thing to, sit out and smoke cigars. So yeah, it's been enjoyable. I've got a Hooten Young here. So um, I did a little bit of research actually. You have to give me some credit here. So co-founded by you guys might know him, Norm Hooten. So Black Hawk Down.
Oh,
The Overlord Churchill pays tribute to Operation Overlord, so the D-Day invasion of World War II. So
that's
Very
pretty
cool.
buddy.
Kind of apropos because we're smoking Churchills. We usually talk about what brand of cigar we're smoking, but this week we decided to do it on a vitola, which is the Churchill vitola, which is just a size, not an actual cigar itself. And then a lot of companies, they have their own sizes. So a lot of different cigar sizes out there. There's a standard sizes, and then there's each brand could come up with some new kind of size that they have. A little bit bigger than Churchill, a little bit smaller than a Churchill, but yeah. Puff,
yeah,
puff,
it's
pass.
pretty big.
I'm looking yours up right now. That's a pretty nice stick, buddy. And I have never heard of it. Is that
Yeah,
like?
it's funny.
I've never even seen that in a store over here. Is that like a Florida thing?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I went in there and just talked to the lady for probably 15 minutes or so. Um, and she told me three different ones, but then I settled on two different ones, and I don't do it often, so I don't mind treating myself a little bit
Very
if
cool.
they've got good ones or whatever. So
That's awesome. Yeah, those are some good cigars. Looks
I
like.
think I'm gonna try to set up shop in a little different location. So I'm gonna go off camera just for a second while I resituate for a
All
couple
right.
minutes.
You got kind of like that Richard Hart floating head thing going on, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say
That's
that's so
awesome.
funny you said that because I was watching it the other weekend, and the second time I watched it after I knew what he was saying already, I was kind of like looking at anything else I could, and yeah, I was like, he looks like a floating head, and so that's exactly what I said. But it was great, I mean, honestly, it's good to see him recording or back on camera.
Yeah, it
So
was good.
give me just 1 minute, I'll be back on camera with you guys, and I'll get started anyways.
Right on.
But
So they have this. If you look at the website for Hoot and Young, they have a cigar called the Ma Deuce, and
The Madus.
it looks like a 50 cal round. It
Hmm.
goes up and then it shapes down like a little bit, right? And then it gets narrower like a torpedo. It's a
Interesting.
very odd shape.
Interesting.
Yeah, I got it from a place. There's actually a lot of them called Island Girl. There's like a bunch of these Island Girls all over the place. So I'll go to different ones all over my area. So
That's cool.
We'll say hello to the chat room. Beached Whale is in here. Good to see you. I think Beached Whale has hit every one of our streams so far. Bright Light. If I smoked, I would. Maybe next time. See another in person, I will. Yep. Crispy don't need no fucking glasses. Well, and Mick, and that's from Mick, aka Jasol. What's up? Ultra Bullish. We love having you, man. Good to be here. And who else is in here? David Surowak. Hello, man. Hello. And the potheads here, puffing and passing. And we have Tam. Hello, milady. Welcome. Good to have you. Supporting the rest of the shows.
She's awesome. She's like everywhere all the time.
Mm-hmm. Supporting everybody.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Oh.
So how's your guys' cigar so far?
Very good.
This is, I really was in need. I snuck one, so I went with a short story today because I'm like, okay, I got to hurry up and get home, so I'll just have a quick one. So I had a short story. So that was more of a tease than anything, right? So, and then so I was waiting for this big mamma jamma, and so it is good. Not my, I mean, yeah, it's a better than average smoke, that's for sure. A lot of people like these Monte Cristo whites, the white series. I've never, I've had a couple, but I've never had one in this vitola.
The guy that runs Pulse LN that bridges Bitcoin back and forth. He loves Monte Cristos. I interviewed him long ago, right when the Pulse LN thing fired up, and I was smoking a cigar on stream, and if I remember correctly, he's favorable to Monte Cristos, but I think he's not in the States, so I think he's getting regular Monte Cristos.
Yeah, I definitely have never had a. No, I have, and it blew up on me. That's right. I did have a Monte Cristo.
Yeah, that's the Spain story.
It self-destructed on me. Yeah, that was horrible. And I'll tell you what, this is definitely better constructed, and definitely a better smoke than that thing was. I gotta say.
And like you say, sometimes this is not. I don't think this is as good as the Romeo number 2s that we had while we were down there. Those little Romeos that we were having in that little place in Panama, right? But it is good.
Yeah, those you're talking about the Valentino Siestos?
Yes.
Oh no, you're talking about the Cubans that we had at that other little shop.
Yeah, the I don't remember the name of it. The little shop with on the
right there on the water.
The hats. Yeah.
Those were good.
Yeah, those little smokes were tasty.
Now, I want to go give a shout out to a shop called the Tinderbox out there in Palm Springs. I went out there and checked them out today, and because I saw he had a couple of YouTube shows. His name is guy's name is Seth. Yeah, Seth. and he had a YouTube stream, and I was like, wow, look at this guy's humidor. I'm gonna go run down there and check it out. So I went out there today and checked it out, and man, I have never seen a bigger selection of rare cigars, like cigars you don't see in shops. You know, I mean, his Arturo Fuente line was just insane. I mean, he must have had 30 Arturo Fuentes in there.
Nice. I like shops like that.
Yeah, he was loaded for bear, and then boxes after box after box just stacked up everywhere. So all the singles, you can get all the singles, but he had just massive boxes of stuff. I got a couple of beef lovers. I got a monster from Tatuaje. I got what else did I get there? A couple of really nice sticks that I have never seen before, and I got this thing called I don't know. Tell me if you guys have ever a Mirafel. Have you ever heard of a Mirafel?
I've never heard of that.
It is supposed to be something special. I looked it up and started checking. I'd never heard of it either. And he had them laid out on. They were all next to the Opuses, and he had another line. I don't know if you guys have seen this cigar, but they had a My Father cigar in a collaboration with Tatuaje. So there was 2 cigars in the humidor. I think it was 20 and 20 on each side. It was a beautiful humidor, and he was singling them out too. And they were My Father on one side, My Father Tatuaje on the other side, and they were just 2 different wrappers on them. And I was going to get them, but I didn't. I would already had my box was full, so I had to stop. I get myself in trouble, so I got to stop.
You are definitely buying more cigars than you smoke.
Yes, I have a collection.
Are you starting to run out of room, or are you just going to start doing that cooler thing?
So that's going to be my solution to the problem that I have right now.
Right.
So I got a stand-up 65-liter, which is supposed to hold like 300 to whatever cigars or whatever.
Right.
And then I have a desktop that you can put about 50 of them in there, I guess. And so I brought all those sticks home, and I seriously ran out of room. So I had to pull everything out, eliminate a box. I had a couple boxes in there, but I have one box I keep all my Opuses in. I grabbed a couple more Opuses, and so I had to reorganize my whole humidor just to get them all in there. And what sucks is I went on that cigar bid just to see how you do it. And I'm like, okay, I'll check this out. And then I hit the, what do you call it? The bid for some Oliva Master Blend number 3s.
Mm-hmm.
And damn it, I won them. So I got a whole another box of those. And the other cigar bid's a good deal, man. You get good deals on there.
It can be, yeah.
The Master Blend Robustos are a great short little smoke, right? I put those right up there with a short story or an illusion, Rothschild. That's a great short smoke.
It is. It really is. And and I'm not real, like, box press is not really my thing.
Right.
But the box presses I do like, I like. And that one is definitely, it really surprised me. I think I got it. I did. I got it in I bought an Oliva pack. It had a V, a G, the nubs, a whole bunch of stuff in it. And it had that thing in it. And I didn't think anything of it. I set it off to the side, and I grabbed it one day. I was like, oh, that's a nice little short smoke. I'm going to come out and have a quick one. And man, I was like, oh, this thing has surprised the hell out of me. I think that's my favorite cigar, even out of the V series. I like that cigar on the best in the Olivas.
Yeah, you do New World at all?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they have their box. I like their box press.
Yeah, that's another one I like.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't always like the box presses. Usually, it's not the kind of filler I like.
There's another one that I used to get that I could find every now and then. It was box press Torontos. Those were okay. Those were pretty good, actually.
Toronto.
This thing's firing up, you guys.
And this thing is too.
I think it's. I want to say Tommy Toronto, and it's got a green label on it, a big T. Those box pressed ones that they have are really good. You got yours lit, Steve? You doing good?
I got it lit.
Nice.
Again, still pretty new to it all, but I typically like to try to find something a little like lighter on the color if I'm looking for something, just because it's going to typically not be as harsh.
That's
if I'm being blunt.
Yeah, that's that's a good rule of thumb, but always when you're in there, ask the tobacconist, because there's some that will fool the shit out of you, and they're light, but they'll turn you green, and then there's some dark ones that will, like, wow, that was nothing, so yeah, always ask them, say, hey, which one's a little lighter of a smoke, and they'll let you know, because you might fool yourself, and before you know it, you're sitting there green as a ghost,
Yep.
Oh, and I was told too,
really nice.
it's a lot about the paper that it's rolled in as much as the tobacco that's in it. So the leaves or whatever. But that event, that Justin Capital event, they had a guy literally rolling them right there in front of us for everybody, for free. So that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, we did that at the Pulse Chain tour, at the golf event.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I still got a few of those. I'll have to send you one too. I got to get those out. I've got them all set up and boxed up and ready to go. So those of you who I said I'd send out to, yeah, give me an address, Steve, and I'll send you one of the. I have some of the cigars that have our band on it. So they got the Pulse Chain Tour band on it, and I'll send you one.
I'll have to hold on to a couple of those then, or one of those at least.
Yeah, we need an airdrop address, man.
I've held on to a couple of the bands, but all the RG3 smokes are gone.
you got like 6 of them, didn't you?
Yeah, I freaking smoked all of them. I do have a pirate band though. I don't have anything left to prove that I was a participant.
I got a couple handfuls of them left. I should probably get some of those out so that I can get some room. But yeah, my next step is, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to have to get the cooler out and put a Bovita pack in there and start throwing them in the cooler.
Could you imagine trying to keep Cigars freaking hydrated in Palm Springs?
Oh man, so when I went into, and again, shout out to Seth again. The guy was so gracious, because I've been kind of poking around, because I'm thinking about opening up my own cigar lounge. And, I've been visiting every lounge I can, talking to people. And I'll tell you what, everybody in the cigar world is very friendly. They're just, even when you say, hey, I'm looking at opening a lounge, man, they're so helpful and telling you, hey, yeah, because they want more lounges, actually, because it popularizes, the hobby itself. So this guy was letting me run in there with a tape measure, measuring out his humidor and stuff. And I said, so what's it like? And he said, well, first of all, I have a season. He goes, right here, this is the end of my season. From June to September, I'm done. It's the summertime, forget it. Nobody, I got snowbirds that come out here, and everybody's indoors. Nobody comes into his shop, because he doesn't have a lounge. He just has a shop. He goes, I'm dead in the summertime, because it's 120 degrees out in Palm Springs.
Yeah,
and,
so there's no smoking on the porch then.
No, and he was getting shipments in. I mean, that guy was loaded, man. He must have put 25, 30 boxes of cigars away while I was there. And more came in the door while I was there. So, but what he said is he's got to get them in the humidor right away. And then he had his big unit up on the roof, and then he had another unit in there. And I said, do you have to have 2 units? He goes, no, I just have one for backup. He goes, I'm dead in the water. If I lose one, he goes, I got to flip it back over to the other one, So, yeah, he had two humidor units in his one humidor.
Yeah, that would be
The bear, man.
that would be a big thing, I would think, in Palm Springs, is having a place where you can smoke when it's 120 degrees outside, a lounge.
So let me tell you what he told me. So he had a upstairs that was all built out a lounge. He has a whole upstairs that's built out lounge. I said, so you have a lounge, you open it up, and you say, you must do pretty good with that. He goes, nope. I said, why? He goes, well, let me tell you something. We have a very diverse community here. He goes, we have one community that is, I guess how do you say it? They're the rainbow community, and another community, they get bikers and snowbirds and all these other. He goes, you wouldn't believe the fights that happen in places out here because of the community. So he said, I'm not going to do it.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been in a cigar place and said, you know what, something's about ready to pop off. Right? I've been smoking cigars for freaking 20 years. I've never seen anything like that.
Well, you know, when I was a kid, when I was a young man, that was the place to go party. We've had riots. We'd have riots there. I mean, all the time. And Palm Springs is a pretty wild. I mean, not anymore. I think it has calmed down a little bit, but it gets pretty wild out there. That place is wild. This thing's actually good. I'm pleasantly surprised. I really am pleasantly surprised.
This one's kicking my butt.
Oh, really?
What do you mean by that? Is it strong, buddy?
Oh yeah, man. I'm like, whew. I think I'm 2 cigars in already.
Yeah, we
started one out when he started this stream.
Last third of his other cigar.
I know, man, but this is heavy. Woo. I have had these before. But I guess I'm trying to keep up with Triplet Dad, man, and I can't. I gotta slow down.
Yeah, there's no way.
That's triple lung over there. Forget about it.
Yeah, the Overlord. That just sounds like a scary name.
How you doing, Steve?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Again, it's like I'm still getting used to even know what to expect. I'm trying to compare it to the last 5 that I've had, and I think, I mean, I had some pretty good ones because I was in Miami, and I think I was like, just give me the best 2 you got or whatever.
Yeah.
And then, so anyways, and everything's a little, pretty good there if you're in the right spot. So, but anyways, it's, I mean, again, it's smooth, which is good. I don't like it to be too harsh. And I think the other one, I did get another one. I guess I could talk a little. Let me see what this is. Can't remember off the top of my head.
Like when you're first starting out, because cigars, they're not cheap, and you can blow a lot of money on a cigar and not like it. The best way to kind of start out for most people is, go buy the regular sticks that are anywhere from $7 to $10, and stick around there. And then once you start getting the taste of like what you like, then go in and find something that's maybe a little pricier, a little better quality, and then that way you'll appreciate them more. Versus you go through those ones, you go through the good ones first, and you're like, I don't even remember what that thing tastes like. I was just trying to get through it, And
that's fun. Yeah.
I did a lot of that, when I was younger. Like, man, I smoked this, I smoked that, and I didn't even know what it was because it was just so, I was just trying to get through the damn things. But now you can appreciate, what a good one tastes like and what a bad one tastes like, and what your taste is, because everybody's taste is different. We all can, these guys can love something that I could hate. Same thing with you. You'll end up getting the one you like.
Beach Whale says torpedo is a Yankee thing. Is that true?
I don't know, but it makes sense to me if it is.
Torpedo is a Yankee thing? What do you mean?
Yeah, torps.
I don't think I think he's saying that there's either there's no such thing as torpedoes outside of the U.S., or
That ain't true. We
No,
know that ain't true.
no.
yeah, I know that's not true, and maybe it's called something else. But a Toro is almost as
size.
long, but it's kind of rounded off at the tip. A Toro,
Yeah.
it's not pointy. So what would a torpedo be called outside the U.S.? Explain yourself, Beach Whale. Don't just come out
Come out swinging.
that
And
not
they all
break
have
it down.
different, and a lot of the companies have different names for their shape of cigar too. Like, I mean, that Andalusian Bull I had the other day, you know, that thing is, you know, a 64 ring gauge on one side and, you know, goes all the way down to a 52 on the other. And that was an old cigar that was brought back from the past, like way back, that they recreated. So yeah.
He said
I see
baseball.
Connor. I see my buddy Connor out there. He's the one I went to Jetson Capital with. He's a good friend of mine. He's honestly the only reason I've probably smoked any cigars in the last couple months. So shout out
Welcome
Connor.
to the show, Connor.
Yeah.
Way to go, Connor. Way to go. We got us another one.
He would get on here. He does a little. He hasn't done it in a while, but he's done a little bit of streaming and podcasting and some other things.
Oh, nice.
So he might come out here one night.
He said you smoked a Siglo 6 with him last week.
There you go. I wouldn't even
Yes.
know, to be honest.
Yeah, you're getting your good ones in the early days.
I think it's because I just haven't had to buy like a box of them, right? So it's like one every other week or whatever. Or maybe one on the golf course. Or honestly, you know, typically people come with them. You know what I mean? It's not like
Right.
That's what you like you said.
Since
It's a
you're
pretty.
new to this, Steve, what are you doing with them? In the meantime, do you have a small humidor or do you have Bovita packs or anything?
I literally, if I buy them, I smoke them. So
okay.
like I don't have any on hand. I have to go to I have to go up to those. But there's, I mean,
that's probably a good rule of thumb to do it that way, dude.
yeah. It's not.
There's
I
no
mean,
doubt
it's not. I'm not playing enough poker or like anything like that right now that I would need to have a
Yeah.
box on me or anything.
Because then you'll end up like us. You'll be telling the old lady, "Yeah, I'm going to the backyard." They know what that means.
Well,
yeah. Where you're at, the humidity is about right anyway.
Yeah, you just leave them on the
desk.
leave them out in the morning. They're good at night.
Yeah, trip on that. I didn't have any problems with the ones I had in Panama. I just, you know, they were good until I got home, and then they went, you know, the bands fall off.
Yeah, that's awesome. One of the guys in chat did want to talk about a little bit about the Coinbase thing today. What do you guys know about that?
Oh, I didn't even hear any news, man. I've been working. What happened?
The privacy, the information that got out about.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
like less than 1% of customers, none of the prime customers is what they said. Which would be bad.
Yeah, only about 400,000 customers.
And I happen to be in the 1% because I mean I can't stop getting 8 different Coinbase fake messages a day. I don't know anybody else, but I am getting hammered by all kinds of stuff. I mean that's just what you got to expect though when you're in this stuff. So I'm getting lots of them. Don't respond to them. They're all fake. All the withdrawal things, all that stuff.
That's exactly what happened. The guys in the No Permissions group said today. They said they're getting the exact same thing as you, Steve. They're
4 to 8 a day.
Tons of messages.
4 to 8 a day. Do not respond if you're out there and you got Coinbase. They will never reach out to you like that. A lot of times what they're doing is they're sending you fake 6-digit codes, making you think that they tried to reset your password. They want you to call the number, and then they'll start whatever they're trying to do to you. But
trying to get your seed phrases.
If you didn't do anything, first off, if someone is trying to get in your account, they're not going to be able to. If you got multi-factor, all that great stuff, which you should have, without a doubt, for non-custodial, you know, for centralized stuff. But anyways, sorry, it's just something that's dear to my heart, security, and everyone should take it extremely seriously.
Extremely seriously.
So the Coinbase, the last Coinbase email I have is from the April 30th. So that's a good sign. I must be prime. I don't know.
Yeah, I've been getting them for a while. I mean, I don't know if you know. whatever. But seems
I've
like the
only
activity
got
picked up
one
recently.
email in the past 15 days, so I should probably be good, I think, hopefully.
Yeah. I've gotten those phone calls before.
Google one also is pretty popular. Yeah.
Yeah.
Call you from like one of those Google numbers and act like there's someone's trying to change your password. So don't fall for
Yep.
that either.
I get a lot of the Google ones.
Cookies and
Yep.
crypto and chat. Just so you know, we smoke cigars when the market's down too.
We've got some
It's the
stuff
best
that's
time.
been aging in there for 3 years for celebration day when we're at bull market
I was
time.
born in the dip. I was born in the
Yeah.
dip. That's what on my
Same
cigar
here.
smoking. That's
Yeah.
why
Born
I
in the
was doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a good line by Richard. I was born in the dip. I mean, obviously, I think it was a copy or whatever, a play off of something else, but that was good.
My favorite line from the video is still "Hello, cell pressure."
Hello, cell pressure. You ain't lying. You ain't lying.
Killed me. That absolutely killed me.
Well, I mean, that's ain't nobody in here that's really buying. Everybody's talking crap like they are, but unless you're loaded, from the early bull run, anybody who bought on its way up and on its way down, they're not selling or they're not buying.
Connor also said, now that he reminds me, there was a $20 million ransom also being asked for with this hack.
Wow.
For Coinbase, and I believe they I don't know exactly what happened there, but Coinbase told them to pound sand.
I mean, was it a crypto virus? Not like the one that encrypts their data and people demand. I mean, that was like.
Yeah, I don't know if it was a
That's
ransomware
interesting.
thing, right?
I'll try to find it.
Yeah, we should have been more prepared.
We also had a guy that was almost kidnapped this week too, right?
France, I think.
See the video of it?
His daughter or whatever. I think it was his daughter trying to be kidnapped. But
crazy. I
That's
saw
wild.
Yeah, I could have swore the video was of some guy trying to get kidnapped.
That's why I live in Florida, so I can protect myself properly.
There you go.
Well, they let us do it here too, believe it or not, even in California. Even though I got to have some funky stuff, I can't have the cool stuff like you guys got. But I'm not going to be running around with a staccato in my belt line anyway.
You know what they said though, that they're trying to put a law in place, or it is in place. I forget which it is here in California, that says that if a home invasion comes into your house, your first thing you need to do is run out of your house.
Yeah, they're what do they call it?
That's crazy.
Not flee, but because we do have the rule where you can. I actually know somebody who was acquitted for murder for that. Somebody had broke into his house and came after him and his girlfriend in his room, and he ended up killing the guy, and a big case and everything, but he got off from it. But yeah, that would be ridiculous. They did just change. They made we have a list out here of guns that you cannot have. And what they tried to do is fudge the list. So the list was like, okay, well, all of these guns can be on the list, on the handgun list. And then they said, okay, only guns that have the red tab on the top. And then they put in there, okay, now only biometrics. And there are no guns with biometrics. So they were saying that now all new handguns were off the list unless it had biometrics. So they made that unconstitutional, and now the California list has been removed.
It's ridiculous.
Well, we got plenty of room out here for you guys if you ever change your mind.
I love Florida. I love it.
Yeah, it's all right. I've traveled to quite a few places, and and I've even lived in several of them, and I don't know, just end up back here, and it's it's pretty good. The gators are the only thing you got to worry about, I'm just
Well, you can shoot them too, right?
Hey,
I know,
that ain't no joke though, man. Right? They drag you right out.
yeah. I mean,
I
we
would
got
like to
some
go hang out with
Panthers
Cletus
too.
McFarland. Do you guys know who that is? Cletus McFarland?
No, I don't think I do.
Cletus is a guy. He was actually studying, I believe, to be an attorney, but he was doing all this crazy stuff with freaking cars, turbos on top of supercharged, but just making just ginormous freaking machines, right? And then he told his parents he was quitting law school, and he went freaking full time YouTuber, and he's been so successful that out in Florida he's bought a racetrack. And he invites all the freaking car YouTubers over to his racetrack and gives them, and he's got them bought. He has a whole bunch of Crown Vics that he's bought, and he puts them in a race.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Like the Cletus 500 or something.
Dude,
like
let's
that.
go. Let's go.
And it's
Let's go.
It's actually it's actually a pay-per-view event now. It's badass.
Really?
I hear a Pulse Chain sponsorship coming up soon.
That sounds
No, I'm
like
just
it.
kidding. No.
100%.
Yeah,
Or
imagine how
Earshot
many
from Puerto
cars you
Rico,
could
too.
sponsor with 600 grand this time.
Yeah, I know. Especially like dirt track cars. We're Earshot from Puerto Rico too. Every crypto favorite. They believe it's their favorite spot, anyways.
Yeah.
It's nice
Yeah.
though. I like it. I like Puerto Rico. Just
Yeah,
make sure you
okay
stay
to
in the right
visit.
area.
Yeah, that's the problem. There's like these little quarantined off areas where the gringos
Yep.
hang that you feel.
Johnny Chaos is in the chat.
Johnny
Yeah,
Chaos.
it
Let's
is. I saw him.
Stand your ground clause.
stand your ground clause. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. Crypto whale watchers having fun there. Yeah, Connor brought up that I wasn't my first birdie ever, but it was the first one in a long time when we played out in Orange County. I forget the course name, but that was a good one as well. Any of y'all play at all?
It doesn't work.
No, yeah. I mean, don't worry. Like I'm having a good day if I shoot under 100. Like I don't play well. I just play. I don't claim to do anything.
So I was caught raising hell on the golf course with my golf cart, driving around, going from, everybody had their holes and their booths at the hole. So I was going from booth to booth, hanging out and partying with everybody and having a good time. And I pulled up to a group that was playing, and they're like, "Hey, RG, come on, man, come over here and hit one for us." And I'm like, "No, Ned, I don't know how to do that." So no. So I teed one up, and I took a nice big Marine Corps swing at it and whiffed. I didn't even come close to the ball. I did it again. I did it 3-4 times and I missed that ball. And then finally I accidentally hit it or something that fell off the tee and like dribbled 4 inches. And I was like, that's it. I'm done. I'm out of here. Forget it. Give me a skateboard and I'll hit it with a skateboard.
There you go. Baseball bat.
There you go. I don't think I'm even good with a baseball bat.
Just an update for those who are with us and not watching the game. OKC is winning 78-76 over Denver right now. Well, NBA playoffs, baby.
Yep. Playoffs. My kid, they went undefeated in his first season on his basketball team, and we're going 2 weeks from now. We're going to the championship. What do they call it? A tournament. So we get to go to a tournament. I love basketball, man. Baseball was that was brutal. Oh my gosh, there's nothing worse than t-ball, man. It's fun watching those kids, out there having. But after a while, it's like you're just like, oh man, not another freaking 3 hours of this.
That's rough, right?
So I'm glad he likes basketball because basketball is really exciting.
Beach Whale is giving the Dallas Stars a prop, so we have a hockey watcher here. Very awesome. What you up to, Crispy Man? You look like you're in deep thought right now. It does not look like you are doing a cigar show. It looks like you are buying or selling hacks.
You're trading. You're trading, bro.
Yeah,
You
Mr.
got
Alpha.
trade face on.
I gotta get my trades in first.
He's got trade face
Oh,
on. I don't even
he's
want to
got
go in there.
he's got that ash, man. That ash was looking long. Is that a challenge
Oh,
thing?
I forgot we were doing ash competition.
Oh, I didn't
Oh,
know that
are we
was
gonna
on.
do that?
Man.
I've been ashing it.
Okay,
for
we
sure.
can start. I just started over.
All right, I'll start over right now.
All right, let's start over.
I got a little
Damn.
one.
I just
Yeah.
ashed it too. It was sitting on there nicely.
Yeah, I had a good one going.
Yeah, these.
Is there a trick
Now
to
I'm down
this?
to like a Robusto. I should be able to get this thing all the way almost down.
Yeah, you know, it really, Steve. It's all about the construction of the cigar. And then, you know, once it starts getting real long, then you got to do this kind of shit, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll have ash gone dead.
And sometimes, you know, when you're going out looking for Churchills, they're not called Churchills, right?
Mm-mm.
So
It's just the size, right? It's the size.
Yeah, it
Mhm.
is just the size. So but I have a what is it? A sorcerer, which is the Ashton VSG version of a Churchill. So their Churchill side is actually called a sorcerer. I don't know what they have against Churchill and why they just didn't call it Churchill.
Yeah,
But they don't.
I think a double Corona is a Churchill too. Somewhere
Is a double Corona though a little bit
shorter. I think it's a
is,
6.
is it a little fatter?
It might be a 6x52 or something like that, or a 6x50, because I think a 7x47 is a traditional Churchill. And you know, there's so many different sizes, so they just call them different vitolas.
Yeah.
It's like this one that I have is not like the standard Churchill. I bought 5 Churchills this week to try, you know, just to see which one I wanted to do.
You got. I'm feeling bad. I got screamed at because I got caught smoking 2 in one day, and I got hollered at, and I was like, oh shit, I'm in trouble for that one. But
Nobody puts RG in a corner.
yeah, I mean it's.
What else has happened since we last met crypto wise? ETH freaking went through the roof.
ETH's moving,
Yeah.
which has moved the whole ecosystem.
Yeah, that dominance changed. How about that, guys? It switches around sometimes, huh?
We still got
Crazy.
Ain't it
some
great?
pretty.
Who could have guessed it would actually change?
We seen it happen like this a couple months ago, and it
No,
rebounded.
Steve, this time's different.
I know every time's different.
Every time's different.
different.
Play accordingly.
I mean, I really expected Bitcoin to go to 99%.
Look
Yeah,
at there, bright light in there with facts.
The double Corona is a Churchill. Measures 6.5 to 8.5 long with 49 to 52 ring gauge. Yes, sir.
Somebody's Googling stuff while we're on here.
Yeah, hitting the AI. Yeah,
Yep.
it's
Yep, inflation did come out this week. That's true, Paul. Course continue to look like the Fed should pivot, and we're all just holding our breath. Just going to see if it's already priced in once it happens.
Yep.
The one thing that's not priced in probably is this freaking trip that Trump's on, where he's saying he's going to bring back freaking $4 trillion worth of investment or whatever, right? I don't think anybody had that on their bingo card, but I am not sure. We shall see.
Everybody should know by now that anything can pop on the bingo card at any time.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is it everybody's at the edge of their seat, wondering is it gonna happen? Is it not? Is it not? Is it not? Pretty soon, everybody's just gonna chill and then just let shit happen. Right now, it's like everybody quit knee jerking, quit reacting, just let things roll out, and then then move. But yeah, it's what is it? Going to cut until unemployment spike. Yeah, we got to see unemployment spike, and then, but I don't know if that's really going to happen.
Which, that brings us into like what happens when unemployment just keeps going up because of other things. But
Well, that's when they'll move. That's when they'll make moves for sure. The Fed will start making moves at that point.
I just mean like Tesla dropping the Optimus robot this year on factories. You got a lot of things moving in those sectors. I think you're going to end up. I don't know, everybody. I know we've all been saying it's coming for a while, but I do think you're going to end up with a lot of jobs displaced, whether we like it or not. But we'll see.
Oh, dude. Yeah, things are going to change. I don't know. Change is good.
It is good.
I was doing that stuff in the 90s. I used to work at a big wheel plant called Hayes Ramirez, and Hayes Ramirez made the wheels for every production car, Ford, Volkswagen, you name it. They made all the production car wheels, and there were three different processes, three different types of machine that the wheel would go in. So you had a guy working at a lathe, you had a guy working at a mill, and you had a guy working at another lathe, and they were moving the wheels from there. So you had three guys doing that, and one guy loading all the stuff onto the on and off, and another guy loading off on the other side. So you had four guys working this. And then what we did was, this was like in 90, I would say this is probably 97, 96. We went in there and took all the machines, changed the production line, put those three machines together to where the two lathes were facing each other. The mill was on one end of it. And then we stuck robots right in the middle. So the robot would reach over, grab the wheel, stick it in the lathe, pull it out of the lathe, put it in the mill. Mill would draw up the holes, take it out of the mill, put it in the lathe. So that took four guys' jobs away right there, or five guys' jobs away right there. And so it's been going on for a long time,
Right.
and it's, it's not ever going to stop. It's not ever going to stop.
Ooh. I almost asked that. Almost asked it. Yeah, I agree with you.
Announced last month, I think, or the month before, that they were going dark factory, which I thought was interesting. They said all of our factories have robots in it. They don't need lights. So it's just a freaking room of moving shit going all over the place, right? With no lights on whatsoever.
That's crazy.
That would be wild, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was telling my buddy. I was like, I mean, like I had one of my ACs replaced the other week, and two guys showed up. Sometimes three will show up when those kind of jobs happen, depending on the difficulty. Upstairs, down, things like that. But I mean, I can just picture it already. Like one guy shows up with two or three robots, and they carry the AC over, and they wire it up. Like it is coming. And to be frank, as like a business owner, I would, at this rate, the rate of what we have right now, where people are not learning a lot of these skills anymore. Like you almost want it to come. You need something to come.
Yeah.
But then that's when, again, you got to have real conversations about things like universal income, and everybody wants to throw red flags around that, whether you're for whatever reason, right? But again, I don't know, what does the world look like if we're no longer all slaves to a system? So I don't know.
And it's already happening in upper echelon jobs.
Yeah.
The thing I've talked about, I think, before on this show, they said that 15% of the workers in Los Angeles law firms have been laid off. This is an article I read. And they have a hiring freeze because you could have a paralegal respond to a document, and just like Richard Hart did, right? Put it in Chat GPT and say, I would like to respond to this in the tone of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, blah, 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 blah. Focus on this, focus on this, focus on this. And a paralegal could do that in minutes now, right? They're not combing through books or online resources or anything like that. They're freaking throwing it in the chat GPT and it cranks out a document in minutes, and then it goes to a partner to be signed off on, goes in the mail.
Mm-hmm.
So here's
it's not all bad though. It's not all bad, right? Because other opportunities will come up, new businesses will be created. But
yeah, and it has to, because I mean, think about it. You know, the reason we produce or make these things or manufacture or do all this stuff is to supply the purchaser. And if the purchaser doesn't have money, because let's face it, you know, poor people buy more shit than anybody. You know, there's more poor, you know, a rich guy, he buys, you know, just a little bit more stuff than the average person does, you know, but you have a lot of, you know, poor people buy a lot more products. And if they can't buy products, then there won't be much need to make those products. So something's gotta give, change. Like you said.
Do you have a Chihuahua? Do you have a Chihuahua RG3?
Yeah, I do. You see a Chihuahua back there?
he's behind your head.
yeah, that's my Chihuahua up there, digging around doing something. Oh, she's doing the death thing. My dog, whenever she smells something that's died, or a bug, a lizard, a bird, anything, she takes her head and her shoulder and she rubs it down on it, like, you know, it's the weirdest thing.
God.
She learned it from my other. I had this murder hound, I called her. She was the meanest, most game bitch I've ever seen in my life. That dog killed everything. She wanted to kill everything, mostly other dogs. And this poor Chihuahua here grew up with it. And she was just, we finally gave her to another home because I was just too worried she was going to, you know, get something. My daughter took her walking one time and this dog came after my daughter and she ripped the other dog's stomach open, had to pay for that. So it was like, now time to get rid of this thing. And I mean, she would have been a good dog, a good hound to have out on the ranch or something. But in the city, she just wasn't. I'd never seen a dog more game than that. She was insane, man. She was part Korean Jindu, part Chow, part German Shepherd, part some other shit. I mean, she was just nuts.
Chow's got a screw loose. I'm convinced of that. Chows are a little nutty.
My buddy is a dog breeder, and he's got some amazing dogs. The Amboldnial Mastiff is his breed. He invented it 35, 40 years ago. And but he has some dogs, and he has a dingo, and he wanted to breed her with his dingo. He said, "Oh man, those will make some great dogs," but she was already fixed, so we couldn't do it. But he had a real Australian dingo.
Nice.
Get over here.
Steve, have you seen Rackham's new dog yet?
No, it doesn't quite have it yet. It's very, very new. Well, there's a little dog that got like well, I won't even show it, but there's a little dog that got a picture, Buster, I think, or something like that. I'm gonna mess up the name probably, but that little dog's cute, but that's a friend's. And then there's the one that he hinted that he's gonna get another Mal, and that's coming. I think that's coming in, I don't know, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, something like that.
Cool.
When I was out there at the shooting range with him and the fellas, I
couldn't do it. Sorry, guys, I lost already. I don't know what the consequences are. I don't know what the consequences are, but
you got to retrohale now. Got to teach you how to retrohale.
Uh-oh.
So now you got to retrohale, and that'll be interesting. But yeah, I saw his boy he had before, his Mal. Oh my gosh, that thing was amazing. That was an amazing dog he had. Yeah, this thing's really good.
Steve, in honor of you, I gave up my ass.
You're at what? It didn't come out. It didn't come out ash.
Yeah.
I heard ass, but yeah.
That's what I heard too. Oh man. So Steve, a retrohale is now you take the smoke in your mouth instead of, of course, not inhaling it, but instead of blowing it out your mouth, you blow it out your nose, and that way now you really start to taste the cigar, and it gives you a deeper, richer taste for the cigar when you blow it out your nose.
I feel like
And
that just happens naturally, anyways.
it's a little harsh at first.
It could happen naturally for you, but some people do that just automatically. But that just means that you smoked a lot of weed.
No comment. Plead the fifth. A previous version of me did a lot of things.
Yeah, same here, buddy. Same here. I think everybody.
You're gonna take 5 on that one.
Yeah. But I can honestly say that I haven't had a drink in 13 years. So
right on.
Yeah.
Right on. Yeah, there's a couple of us around.
Yeah. So that's the alcohol never. I mean, again, I was a fun drunk. I was a bartender actually, so I had fun and it was a good time. But I like to drink a lot when I drink, so I just I'll just put it that way.
Yeah, there wasn't enough for me.
I decided that it wasn't for. There you go. That's the story, right? I feel you on that.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I don't mess around with that very much. So it is nice to like I mean, again, I was at that event in Miami, and it's like everybody's drinking, everybody's doing something, right? And it's like nice to have a cigar, to be honest. So you're giving up a lot of your other vices, right?
Yeah.
You're just having a Diet Coke and some cigar. So that's a good way to be at a
with crypto and alcohol is more. Yeah.
Yep.
Paul, he
so now I just buy crypto instead of alcohol.
There you go.
Yeah, that's probably a worse habit.
Wouldn't have been if I'd have started when I stopped drinking. I'd be doing pretty good, but I didn't get into it for about 5 years after or something. So
he did, I think, lose his dog in the divorce, Paul. But he has a story that he put up about that the other day on X. That would be absolutely brutal. I was divorced once, and she left me with all the dogs, and I had 3. So I couldn't have imagined going through that without my dogs hanging out with me. They were like my buddies. Freaking, it was they kept me a little sane. What else we got going on?
So we're into our second third now, everybody. Deep into it.
Yeah, and my ash is right there. This
yeah,
is not a
I think
fast
I'm
burn.
halfway. I don't know. I came in late. I felt like I had to catch up a little bit.
Yeah, I like.
You were only like maybe 5 minutes in, bud. You're right there with us.
Yeah, we just lit up. So you're good.
I need a better setup though. I don't have like a lounge. I don't have a good area right now for this.
Yeah, it took me the last couple of weeks. I've been a mess. I finally I went and bought like a little $300 computer, and now I've got everything set up. My good camera and my my whole.
Your image this week, buddy, is 10 times better.
Oh yeah, I got my Sony 6400 now, and this is one I stream with out on the events and stuff. So I got it all hooked up. The audio's okay. I got this little
audio's badass, bud.
Cool. Yeah, it's not a bad setup. Not like my studio, but it's not a bad setup. The highest stakes guys.
Cigars in your studio, so I would prefer the setup you got.
Well, if I get my lounge, I'm going to put my studio in the lounge. That way, it's on. Hey, we got Fast Abdul in the chat room. He's here for the tech, everybody.
Yeah. Look at this, Fast Abdul. I'm wearing a hat today. Very, very much like some of your hats.
It's funny you say that. I hate to admit this, but that's who I thought of when I saw it was Fast Abdul because he's got that. I feel like he's got a purple version of that or something. I
He
remember him having.
does. He does. Fast Abdul and I and Captain all went down to Panama, and I got this at a Panamanian hat shop, right next to that cigar place we were at, RG3.
Yeah. I love hats, but I can't wear them because I have a big head, and now with the dreads going, I definitely can't wear a hat. But I got a fat head, and I like hats, but I just can't fit in them all.
Yeah, the dreads would add to your hat size big time, huh?
I can't wear a hat. I can't
be like those big old hats that they have at the baseball games that are like 3 times the size of your head. Like,
yeah, they just don't fit anymore. They don't. Not with these. That's for sure. No, they don't fit. And I like those. I like those hats.
I wanted to get a pulse sticker or something right here. Mr. Rochelle's been going full tilt boogie on ink. What are you guys' feelings on that?
I'm going with Briz 1000. There you go.
There you go.
I'm good with that. I like it.
Yeah, I like ink.
Well, listen, I don't know the real number, right? Of course, but not making very much of it now.
Nope.
I mean, I guess the same amount,
And I think it's going down from here even. Like I think it's going to go 0-1. It's just I always felt like that was the right number if you wanted it to be really rare, especially if you plan on trying to make it a DAO token at all or anything like that. I mean, literally, we have no features yet, right? There's nothing, and I mean, there's definitely going to be some staking mechanisms and things like that. So, I think once we see the full force of what is actually going to come with the farms and all that stuff and pools, and we just haven't. None of it's been unleashed yet. So.
Yeah. Validation is going to be key too. I think validators are going to do really well. Those people who are stacking validators now.
And it's going to get harder to, I think, get one, right? So you think,
and
people will be inclined to probably pool them and sell them. So it'll become less common, I think, too.
Yeah.
Get them while you can. That's right.
Get them while you can.
Fast Abdul did a little bit of research on both of the contracts of PulseX and Inc., and they're both set up to be DAO tokens eventually. I don't know which one he's going to pick for that. Maybe Inc. will stay reward, and PulseX will be because of the buy and burn will be the DAO voting token. I don't know.
Back to the cigar. I really like the short finish on this thing.
I've got an inch right there, bud. If I go to the long side.
About an inch and a half.
All right. You're big. Mine's going to fall on my shirt. I know it.
I mean,
so anybody in chat that smokes cigars, if you have any suggestions on what we should smoke next week, and that can be, we're changing it up a bit. That could be a brand, that could be a style, it could be a country, Nicaraguan, Dominican. Please don't say Cuban because we probably have a hard time getting that.
Well, some of us already have them in the Humies.
Some of us do.
Right, you just can't buy them here, right? That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
Correct.
Well, I mean, you can. You just got to find them.
Yeah,
and don't go into your local shop and ask them for them. But
well, they got to give them away free, and then you got to tip them. I hear you.
I had a cigar shop in Hong Kong that would ship them to my house, but
Look at that. If you give Steve y'all's addresses, I'll send you some Eye of the Bulls. Hey. I've been looking for some of those.
Who said that? Connor did.
Common Miller
Yeah,
Media.
Connor. Yeah, that's my boy. That's one of my boys.
I have some Toros. I have some Toros in the humidor bright light. So that's a good pick.
Well,
I am the captain of my ship. That's
RG. I have a feeling that we'll see you at some point, and he's here with us, like near me.
Nice.
So we can figure it out, or I can ship him. But
heck yeah, no, I'll send you guys an address. I got an address to get all my stuff sent to.
Nice.
Yeah, I have no problem with the address. What else we got going on in chat? Can't go wrong with a Davidoff Grand Cru number 2.
I had a Davidoff last week. I forget which one it was. I don't remember. I like Davidoff. It's good.
I have a Cuban Davidoff in my humidor, but I don't have a normal one.
Yeah, I went to their lounge in London when I was in London. Ed Sakakian, whatever his name is. Nice lounge. I didn't go to the store, but I went to the lounge, and of course, they have a handful of New World cigars there, and then everything else is all Davidoffs. But I've never been impressed by a Davidoff yet.
Really?
Yeah. Maybe I just haven't had the right one yet, I keep hearing the number 2. Is it a Davidoff number 2? That's the one everybody really likes. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, I think that's
what
Connor was saying.
Is that a white band on that, buddy?
Well, they all got those white bands, right?
Well, no, my Cuban's black.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Black on white, and then they have like the gold on white.
No,
right?
Just straight black, and it says Davidoff across it. If we ever pick Davidoff as a brand, I'll bring it out.
Yeah, the Eye of the Bull is a Fuente. I looked for those today. I was looking for the Shark and I was looking for the Bull, but he didn't have any singles. He just had boxes, and them freaking boxes are expensive. Unfortunately, my favorite cigars are Opuses. I love the Opus X. I got 2 rare pinks today. That's a couple of the Opuses I picked up. I haven't had the rare pinks yet, so I'm gonna let those sit in the Humi for a little bit. They're a short cigar. They're a small cigar, but I hear the pinks are good, and so I'm gonna have one of those in a couple of weeks here once it settles down in my Humi for a bit, gets familiar with all its friends before I take it out and execute it.
Yeah, on those Davidoffs up in this area, I don't think I've ever seen them in a shop, but duty-free shops when I travel, definitely.
Yeah. And what's funny, I was in an airport one time and they wouldn't let me because I was an American get the Cuban brand Davidoff. They wouldn't let me get them.
Yeah, what's the point of a duty-free shop? I tried that once too when we were coming back, and I tried to do the exact same thing. And why couldn't I get that? Is that the point of a duty-free shop?
That's what I thought. And I mean, now you can bring Cubans back. You can bring up to like $800 worth, I think, of Cubans back, which isn't much, but you can bring them back from what I hear. So yeah, they have several sizes. Yeah, I got the what do they call those small ones? And the reason they come out at that time is because they're for breast cancer awareness is why they have the rare pinks is for breast cancer awareness. And they come out during breast cancer awareness month or whatever. That's when they put them out.
Now that's a super interesting twist, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Tobacco in support of that.
You would think because cigars are a majority male thing, they would be called rare browns and they'd be prostate cancer awareness, right?
Rare brown.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of what do you call it? Philanthropic work that these cigar companies do. For instance, in Esteli, they're building schools. They built an elementary school out there, and once they built the elementary school, they told them, "Hey, the kids got to go to high school." So they built a high school. So the cigar companies out there are doing a lot of work like that, and they should be doing more of that here because, I mean, like Steve was talking earlier, he's like, it's wrapped in paper. Well, they're not. They're wrapped in a leaf, and I know he meant leaf, but they're all natural. I mean, yeah, you're smoking it. Yeah, you're getting carcinogens. Yeah, there's possibilities of things, but I think living in LA is just as bad as smoking a cigar a day in some other place. So, I mean.
Yeah.
It's a different experience, and we've talked about this before than cigarettes or vapes or any of that stuff, because they haven't messed with these. These have been the same for thousands of years. When they were just rolling up.
Do you remember when the Top Gear guys drove a freaking Porsche through Bangladesh? They drove a Porsche through the center of Bangladesh with all of the freaking stuff inside the air, and being tested, the air coming out of the Porsche was cleaner than the air going in. It was amazing.
Gentlemen,
I have
I
the
think
hookup with Pete Johnson. Hey, yeah, let me know, man. The guy just was at his shop today. Pete goes to his shop too. Pete's a cool dude. Everybody likes Pete. If you don't know Pete, he's the founder of Tatuaje, and he was. I think it was. He teamed up with Don Pepin. Is that who it was? One of the best rollers in the world, and helped him, taught him how to blend cigars and whatnot, and that's how he's a young dude. He's like barely 50, tatted up. He makes I got a monster today, and like every year he comes out with some new. In October he comes out with some new monster themed cigar or whatever.
Well, that's awesome. I think I'm about to get out of here a little bit early, guys. I know it's early for you guys, but it's late for me.
Right on, my
Yeah.
man. Thanks for
But I
dropping
appreciate
by,
the invite.
Steve.
Next
Yeah.
time I come by, we'll do it. Me and Connor will do it together out of one of the local cigar bars. Because
There you
honestly,
go.
that guy can talk about it for days, and he knows. I mean, you can tell, right? He's got the knowledge on this stuff.
Yeah,
So.
he definitely has knowledge. That's for sure.
And he's been through the trenches with us DCAing for the last two years of post
Nice.
So.
Hit me up in TG, Connor. We'll chat, man.
All right. Thank you
Love to
guys.
pick your
Appreciate you
brain.
having me.
Thanks, Steve.
Yep.
Thanks for
Steve.
coming
Got it.
by, Steve. Good work too,
Later.
man. You guys are killing it out there.
I
Yeah,
appreciate it. Thank you. You guys are too. I appreciate
talk to you
everybody
tomorrow.
coming
We'll see you,
together.
bro.
Talk to you tomorrow. Talk to you guys. Bye.
And then there was 3.
And then there was 3.
So this guy Igor was told to get some Davidoff cigarillas as a beginner smoke. That's a good call, bud. If those little things start reminding you too much of little cigarettes, though, step it up like one notch and go with like some short story. Arturo Fuentes.
Yeah, the short story's great.
Illusion, Rothschilds. And then that one we were talking about earlier today, those Master Blend Robustos are a nice little small smoke as well.
Yeah, I mean, my favorite region or my favorite cigars are Dominicans. So those short stories really are tasty. They're just not long enough. They're short enough if you don't have time, which is nice. But sitting down having time to have a cigar, they're just a little too short of a story.
There you go. What's up, Hex Armstrong, Sean O'Malley? Nice to see you guys in here.
Let me see if I can keep my ash. I'm going to turn on some light. I'm running out of light here. Hold on a second, fellas.
Hey, how's Bistro going?
Bistro is crazy right now. Earlier today on Bistro,
Shane Cruise shirt.
Nice.
One of the cruises.
On Bistro, a bunch of people posted.
There we go.
Some Paul Smith's whale, some dark, some bribe token, a whole bunch of tokens, and they just all sold out. Some Nope was on here, some DAT, and some Solid X also. Those are all gone. So there was some folks that put some stuff up on Bistro under market, and people just went and bought it all. And I was in between Randy's stream and this stream, so I didn't have any time to participate at all.
Nice.
Still some bribe though there, you guys, if you want to get some under market. And Fast Abdul is burning the remaining bribe that's on Bistro after the 18th. So that would be a nice little token to have.
Nice. And
you have to.
What I like is we're starting to see the projects that are going to stick around. We're starting to see the projects that are solid in the ecosystem, and this bull run is going to really solidify those. Still going.
Me too, bud.
I'm catching up now.
Mine's got a fatal flaw there. You can tell it's already wanting to bend.
You got the Clinton going on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's getting a Pyrones going on there too.
Peroni's. Peroni cigar. That's not good.
Oh, I can't talk about it, but anyway, when I was at the shop today, he has one cigar or there's a handful of cigars that he had in an area that sell really well there for some reason, and these things are like 80 and 90 ring gauges. They're huge. I mean, just monstrous cigars. And he sells a lot of them.
Yeah, I can't smoke those very much. I mean, I tried a couple times. It's just not it's a style, I think. What
do they taste like? I mean, are they just overpowering? Because I've never tried to smoke one. I mean, nothing really any bigger than like that Andalusian Bull's about as thick as I've gotten. I'm about 64.
You ever see the big giant JFRs?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've smoked a couple of those, and yeah, they're okay. But I mean, unless somebody might really love them because they're sold all over the place, but not for me.
There was a place I told you guys before in Sacramento that had the Governator when Arnold was the governor of California, and they used to roll their own, and a bunch of little Cuban guys in there, right? And the Governator was ginormous. It was longer than this Churchill that we just smoked, and fat. It was like a 2-hour-ish long smoke, easy. I smoked those all the time. They were gorgeous cigars.
Well, yours are still going, right? So we're an hour and 15, an hour and 20 now.
Yeah, and I'm just like,
I probably get another hour.
Yeah, I still got plenty of smoke left on this thing. I haven't even hit the first band yet. This is a double band on it, and I haven't even hit the first band yet.
I took my bands off because I didn't want to forget about them. Because they're Cuban ones, I want to put them on my board. And I didn't want to have that hint of rustic burn on the top of them like I always do. God damn, this thing's starting to taste foul.
Yeah, like what is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm taking these off too because my ash game's getting pretty good. I don't want to script the ash game trying to get it off.
I don't want to jinx you or anything, but I think it's gonna fall.
I don't know. Let's see if I can get this thing off here.
Nice psyop there.
Yeah.
There we go. But yeah, I'm impressed with this. Actually, I didn't think I'd like it. I like the short finish though. Oh, it's going. It's gone. It's gone. As soon as I turn it over, I'm done.
Is it broke?
There it goes. Yeah, it broke.
All right,
it's
so
burning
that's
great.
the winner.
So that's what you want to see in a cigar. If you can see it there, you want that volcano in the middle when your ash comes off. That means it's been rolled right when it's got a nice cone inside there. Mm-hmm. That's what you're looking for.
I also been told that the keeping the ash on a bit of ash doesn't have to be that much. Draws heat from the burn and keeps it under control.
I could taste the difference too. After I ash and when I've got a good ash on there, I can taste the difference. It tastes
it's a little smoother.
A little smoother with the ash on there.
100%. So Eddie in the chat's asking how many cigars are in America's humidor collection. I'm not sure if that's something specific or just a general question.
Or is there one in like the Smithsonian or something like that?
I don't know.
That would be interesting to know if the Smithsonian has a cigar collection. That would be cool. And when he's saying America's humidor, that tells me maybe there is one.
Let's look it up.
I'm sure Eddie's gonna let us know here in a second, right?
He may.
That was cool having Steve on here.
Yeah, it was. He's a good dude.
And a new cigar smoker too, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Maybe we got him hooked.
That's right. Not cigar advice.
Yes, you should never start smoking cigars.
Never, ever.
But if you do, smoke them with us.
Yeah.
Hey, real high level stuff. Today I noticed that XRP printed a reversal candle or signal, meaning in reversal to the upside. So I don't know. I watched this the set of charts that's based on the pi indicator, which is the golden ratio multiplier. Oh. Anyways, it's just something that I've been doing since, I don't know, 18, 19. And it's something similar to stuff that Richard talks about with being able to call tops and bottoms and likely levels, but it's on a longer time frame, 350 day or longer. Anyways, it printed right before the pop on ETH. It printed an ETH buy and a pulse buy signal. And now I'm seeing a reversal on the XRP. All that, I guess not super surprising, right? With the shift in the way money's coming into ETH at the moment, right?
Like it. Oh, he says, how many cigars are in your humidor collection? Oh boy, that's embarrassing. Should we even say?
I'm happy to share mine 3.
Yeah, mine is low.
300?
I smoked the heck out of them.
1, 2, 3.
You have 3 cigars?
Yeah, I'm sorry, dude.
What do you do? You smoke 2 or 3 a day. You must go and buy cigars every day then.
No, not every day, but I get low. That's why I say if you don't want to smoke them, don't buy them.
I probably have 25 in my humidor right now.
Oh shit!
You have a freaking shit ton, buddy. You have probably boxes with 25. So I stock my humidor once or twice a month. The little refrigerator one that I have, right? And my goal is to stay with 2 decent size, like a Toro or something like that, cigars per day, or I'll do 3 Robustas a day. So I've got it. I base it on size, total size, right? And that way I don't get much flack from the wife, and I can say these are the small ones. These are the small ones, and so I probably go through a month at least 70 cigars.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really possible. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, it's from a financial perspective, it's expensive. It's like in the U.S. having your kid play hockey. You know, that's
Yeah.
that's kind of the cost that's involved.
It's way less expensive than crack or something like that. So I always consider those 70 cigars saving money.
And it's probably only 3 times more expensive than a coffee addict.
Yeah.
So if you're Starbucks, or you're going to Starbucks twice a day, that's probably about 3 cigars, 2 or 3, depends.
I'm about 1 a day. I'll go a day without or 2 days without, but that's about it. I'll go 2, and then sometimes I'll have 2 a day. Rarely, like that night we went to the to the lounge, we had 3 in like a matter of a few hours.
Yeah.
I'll only smoke like 1, maybe 2 a day, and then but I have probably about 300 cigars in my humidor.
Yeah. So Eddie's asking about cheapest cigar you can't do without. I don't know if there's any. Well, there's some expensive ones that I can't do without, but the cheapest one that I have, and I don't even know what the hell the name of this one is. I'm trying to read the side of it now. It's a Nicaraguan, but it's one of these little JFRs. Now this is a good nice 45-minute smoke, $7, $7.50. So that's that's
$7.50 in a brick and mortar, or $7.50 online.
Brick and mortar.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good deal online then.
Yeah.
Let me see what this thing says.
See, in California, our cigars are a lot more expensive in the brick and mortars. And I'll only, I do buy some out here when I can find good ones, because you can't mail order the good ones. I mean, it's just hard to get the mail orders. But I'll tell you the cigar bid that you hooked me up with, and that master blend to me is like a perfect smoke that's high level, good smoke, good. I like Dominican. It's a good Dominican smoke. And on cigar bid, you can get them for as cheap as $3.50 a stick if you buy a box of them. And I think I got them for $4 a stick. And that's, to me, that's really good, especially for a smoke like that, because it's a good smoke and it's cheap at $4.50. If anywhere from $3 to $5 for that cigar that's a good deal, in my opinion.
If I go on to Cigar Bid and I see a smoke that I normally see for $12 in the store, and I see a 5-pack of them going for less than $25, I'm a bidder, right? If I know I like the cigar. So that's the case with those master blends, some of the Oliva Series Vs. There's a bunch like that on Cigar Bid that you can actually, and Cigar Page, both of those have.
Oh no, there's another one.
Yeah, Cigar Page. That's not a bidding one. That's one if you just want to go shop boxes, or 5-packs or sample packs. Cigar Page is awesome.
The one that I found that has rare cigars that are hard to find is Cigar Thief. Cigar Thief has they have the Leopuses, they'll have the Andalusian Bulls, which you can't find those that
Cigar
often.
Thief.
Cigar Thief, yeah.
I gotta try that one out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let this one go, but I that's all of 2 inches. Easy, guys.
Nice.
You lasted the longest, man.
Yeah. Only in cigars, though.
Yes, yeah. I went treasure hunting this weekend. I went to one of the shop I was telling you about.
Mm-hmm.
And you know those Placencias you like?
Mm-hmm.
Right, but what was the number that you like? Because I got the label around here
The
somewhere.
146.
Yeah, the 146. I got their last 2, $10 a piece.
Oh, nice. Nice. That's a good price too.
And they were shorties, right? I mean, they're relatively short. And man, that was kick ass. I knew I smoked that when I was done. I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
My hair was on fire, man.
That's an easy $20 stick here in California.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, I think the reason why they just haven't repriced. That's what the problem is there.
We've got a lot of different taxes on them here too.
Yeah, that's true.
We get a little more tax on our tobacco.
Yeah, so I looked up that cigar. It's called a Maduro Corona, simple name, the one that I was smoking. But yeah, I probably could find them. But I haven't. I've been looking on Cigar Bid. I haven't seen them on Cigar Bid. But if I could find them online, I'd buy them. It's a nice filler smoke. One that's not too expensive. I don't feel bad about smoking it. And burning too many of them.
Famous usually has pretty good deals too. You gotta get on their list, and when they'll send you their deals of the week or whatever. That's where I ended up getting that from Famous. I got that. You guys been to Famous?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I get their sampler packs every now and then. They have some really good deals on there. That's where I got those Olivas that had that master blend in it, and I finally tried. But and then I don't like that O series. Oliva wasn't really my favorite.
The O's and the G's are not that good. They're not my favorite. I like the V's. I like the master blends. I like the V Melanias.
The nubs.
Yeah, those are good.
The nubs are pretty good. Have you ever smoked any of those pigs? Any of the? Well, they're not Olivas, but some of them. They all make those pigs. They're like a fat, short.
Yeah, I have smoked a couple of those. Some of them are, and they have the twisty tail on the end. I don't know what that's called. But yeah, and 601, the blue that I sent you guys, they make a yellow label one called the 601 Bomba, and that one has the twisted end.
Oh,
I've had that. It's pretty good.
But it's not that pig shape.
No. What do you guys want to smoke? So that we had a suggestion of Davidoff in here. Do you guys want to go with that next week, or do you want to choose something else and save that for a special occasion?
I'd have to go find a Davidoff because I don't have of all the cigars. I don't have a Davidoff in there.
I have to go searching for one. Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah, I only have a Cuban one in my.
I'd like to smoke something I have in my humidor, so I'm not out there. Because every time I go to a shop, man, I don't leave with one cigar.
I'll take that one, and I'll take that one, and that box. Yeah.
What would be a good one is Steve Saka's brand, which is what's his brand? Doggone it.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he's not with that other company anymore. Doggone it. what is his blend now? Oh, it'll hit me. Somebody will probably say what it is. But maybe we could do either Steve Saka's or Tatuaje.
Dunbarton.
Oh, Dunbarton.
Well, you have one of those. If you went and got some red meat lovers, you have a Dunbarton already.
I have his Sobernistas too, and those are really good. I had one of those the other day. His Sobernisa, and he's got that meat lovers, and that was the red meat lovers. Everyone says that's a real kick-ass cigar.
The red meat lovers is one of my favorite cigars, but it's freaking a strong cigar, bud.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm pretty. I don't get affected too much by. Every once in a while, one will get me though. That's for sure.
You know which one will get you? That surprised the heck out of me is the CAO Maduro X squared.
Oh yeah.
That is a freaking action-packed little smoke. That one made me feel, after I smoked it, like we felt after smoking 3 cigars. That one is full of whatever is in it.
I like the CAOs. That's really like the only Brazilian I've really liked. Well, the only the BX3 I had, that one's really good, really good. You ever had the BX3?
Yes.
I think so. I've had the Brazilian, the Italian, the Flathead. What other CAO ones have I had? The America one. I ordered boxes of all of those. I have it someplace. But the CAO ones show up in a cardboard box. It's paper.
Oh.
So I have a not for now. Maybe I'll get some and I'll send them to you. But there's a brand that I like that's really good by a guy by the name of Goss, Goss, and it's probably niche because you probably wouldn't have heard of it before. But the company that actually makes the cigar is Cavalier Genevieve. I don't know if you've ever heard of them.
Right.
But they have these cigars where they have the labels imprinted. The band is imprinted in gold and it's smokable.
Oh.
Right.
So
Now, the Goss isn't that, but it's the same company, right, that makes these. And the Goss, they have a Nightman. It's called Nightman. Is the cigar. It's kind of seasonal, but I buy those anytime I see them. I like those a lot.
Lots of links for that. I'm looking it up right now. That looks like a good stick.
I've never seen one. I've heard the name. I've never seen one.
Yeah. Well, it's probably just some of these are regional, right? They don't have the market reach.
Yeah.
Necessarily to get out there.
And we do have to have a show sometime soon and have SJ on and do Placentias also.
Yeah, Placentias. I've got a couple in there. I like the fact that they make a hexagon shaped one.
Yeah. I liked it when it was less than $20. Now that it's like $30, I'm like, I like that. First time I saw it, I was like, oh man, that's X. I got to get one of those. That was it.
Yeah. I'm actually have somebody. I sent them my my press, my cigar press, and I'm going to see if I can get them to make me a hexagon cigar press so that I can roll some hexagon cigars. I'm getting better. I've got
bet you a 3D printer guy could make one that would be badass.
Yeah, I sent it to the 3D printer guy, and they're trying to because that plastic is the plastic for those molds is really thick, like it's a real dense plastic, because you do have to press it. I got to find out if they can get that type of density. So they've got it. They're trying to figure it out now. If not, then I'm going to have it machined. Any thoughts on DIY Tupperware humor? You know what? People swear by them. And
I use them all the time.
They're just as good. as far as display goes and all that, it's not like something you're going to put on your desktop and show everybody your cigars or anything.
Here's the cheap version right here. See?
Yeah. and the Boveda packs are they're awesome. You just throw them in there with your they call them a Tupperware is what they call them. A Tupperware is what the humidor and the Tupperware is. But
I told you I keep mine. I reinvigorate them. So I've got a whole box.
You know what?
In
I did that and it worked. And what's crazy is I soaked it in water. I took it out and the paper just dried up and the inside is also very, very cool how they do that.
Yeah, I kind of Dutch ovened it instead. Well, not Dutch oven, but I put a Tupperware in a Tupperware, filled the Tupperware with water, but the Tupperware itself with the packs, I didn't wet them down, right? Just leave them in there and just let the moisture get to it.
Yeah. It'll suck it all up.
Yeah.
Oh, they just like reinvigorate each other kind of thing?
Yeah. It'll draw the moisture right out of the air, right into the pack.
Oh, I'm gonna
eventually they die, right? But I mean, you can for a long time. I mean, I have some that I've had for 5 years now that are recycled back through because I was buying boxes that had them in them, get them for free. Mm-hmm. I'm like, well, I don't, listen, I don't want to destroy the environment any more than it already is. So let me recycle. So I've been recycling.
And Eddie, here's my best suggestion for that is to go to Costco or on Amazon and buy the Pyrex Tupperwares, the set, and keep the big one for cigars and give the other 4 sizes to the wife. So
and you're a hero.
It'll have a silicone lid and everything, and you freaking put one of those Boveda packs in it, and that's what I travel with. So if I go on a ride, go out to the desert or something like that, I take the big glass and I put 20 cigars in there or something, and throw a couple Boveda packs in there, put the lid on, and I'm good for at least a week.
Nice. It's funny those Andalusian bulls I got. I cracked open the box and opened it up, and the Boveda pack was dead. It was dead dry. Mm-hmm. It was gone. So I was like, oh boy, these guys have had a rough time. So
yeah,
I'm gonna let those sit for like at least 3 years, and then I'll start cracking them out. I hear they're real good.
I got a question for you, man.
Go ahead.
Like kind of off subject, sort of. So I bought those Churchills, and I got the Fuentes Churchills, a couple of them. And one of them, it was really weird, man. The whole smoke. What do they call it when you end up having the? How sometimes you'll end up with a like a piece of like carbonized ash that's within a cigar. That gets really, really hard. Usually it happens on the end, right? And for whatever reason, it gets really super carbonized and it's hard, and you got to kind of break it off or whatever. But this cigar, it was all the way down. It happened for the whole thing, the whole length.
That's a stem,
isn't it? Yeah, isn't it one of the stems or something that gets stuck in there somehow?
Maybe, I don't know, man. But it was
that's a stick, bro. So every now and then, everybody's got their quality control, but you'll see on some cigars that the vein inside a leaf is thicker than optimal, and you'll have basically a stem someplace in there, and it'll create one of those hard pieces all the way through, and it'll draw funny also when you get that.
Yeah. Well, this canoed, bad. Yeah, because that side was not burning. Maybe it was right in the wrapper. Maybe that's what happened.
I've also had cigars canoe that I got out with that were Rocky Patel edges, and they had one of those little Boveda packs in a 4-pack of Rocky Patel edges, and they keep the Boveda pack on one side. So one side of the cigar was more moist than the other side.
Oh, maybe that's.
See, and that's what I always thought maybe canoeing was, is if you set your, like if you have, like my desktop has the pellets at the bottom that you moisten up. And I thought maybe the cigar sitting at the bottom there for too long might have got too moist on that side. And that's why they canoed. That's what I've always thought. Maybe that's what causes that,
Yeah.
And maybe not so much the construction of the cigar itself, but the actual moisture that's getting in it from your humidor.
Yeah, I think you should turn them.
Yeah.
My cigars don't stay in my humidor long enough to turn.
That's what I was going to say. You know who doesn't have that problem? This guy. I got three cigars.
But there's a reason why there's slots on those little trays, right? And so moisture can get to the underneath and the top. But just plain physics, the part that has more air is going to get more moisture. Yeah.
Yeah. Something that kind of on the same subject. So I when I was rolling, I got a lot of my wrapper leaf and moistened it up a lot, and I wrapped them in towels and put them in a big plastic tub and kept them in there, and they've been in there for a couple weeks. And day before yesterday, I went in there and said, "Oh shit, I better check these. They're probably going to be all molded or whatever." And I opened them up and went to flip them, and I gave them a good smell, and the ammonia smell that comes off of that was intense. I was like, wow, because that's what they. So for those of you out there who don't know, when they, the cigar process is extremely complicated. I mean, it's not complicated as far as it's a simple process, but there are many processes to aging and refining the tobacco before it's used. And one of the things they do is they stack all the tobacco leaves in these rooms, in these humidors, and they moisten them, and they check the temperature, they check the humidity, and they take these big stacks. And I mean, these things weigh like, anywhere from 3,000 to 6,000 pounds of the stacks, and they flip them. And every day, that's what these guys do, is they turn these stacks over that are ready to turn, and they restack them and time after time after time, they get aged, and what they're doing is they're releasing all of the ammonia out of the tobacco, because that's what gives it bitter flavor. And so the longer you do that to them, the more of that ammonia you get out of them, the better the tobacco tastes. And that's just one of the many processes that go through. If you don't know, it's like, I think each cigar, by the time it gets to your hand, it's gone through 300 different hands before a cigar gets to you. That's the process.
That sounds sanitary. Yeah.
Right, and then everybody's worried about people picking up the cigars in the humidor at the shop, right? It's like, nah, man, there was 300 Nicaraguans that was sweating all day long on that cigar tobacco before it got to you.
That's why it's salty sometimes.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yep.
That's where that all comes from.
Eddie asked you what your oldest cigar is. I do have one cigar that I've kept in my humidor for over 5 years. That's my oldest one.
So my collection is only about 2 years old, and I didn't have that many over the last couple of years. I usually would just go and buy the cigar I would smoke, and I would only smoke a few a year, maybe 3-4 cigars a year. And then over the last 2 years, that has changed to where I'm a daily smoker. But today I bought two cigars that were aged over 20 years. So they're 20-year-old cigars that are sitting in my humidor now. And so, yeah, some of these you can buy them that have already been rolled, and they're sitting around for 5, 10, 15 years. So I've got some in there that I bought that are probably 12 years old, 15 years old, and now I've got a few in there that are over 20 years old. And actually, I have an older cigar than that because when my kids were born, I bought those Edwards boxes. It's a boy, it's a girl.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So I literally have a handful of It's a Boy. My son's 23, so those are 23 years old, and my daughter's 20, so those are 20 years old. So I do have those in there. I don't know if they're going to be any good or what, but they're in my humidor.
I'm sure they'll be fun. Hey, with your rolling, RG, do you using glue at all?
Yeah. So it's a vegetable glue that it comes in a powder form, and you mix it up, and then you put it in the refrigerator overnight, and it stiffens up, and then you just take the jar, boom, 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 rub a little on there. It's really a surprise. When you look at it, it's like when you sit down in front of it, you go, oh my God, how's this thing going to hold itself together? You're watching them do it. You're just like shoving the leaves in, and then, you roll that binder over the top of it. And then all of a sudden, boom, you got something that looks like a cigar. It's like, wow. Then you put it in the press. And I got a couple of different presses. I have a press where you actually put them in the blocks and press them down. And then I've got this other cool little roller system where it's what do they call those? A roll. Hit the name will hit me in a minute. But it's a piece of wood and a real thick piece of plastic, and you put the filler in there, and you pull the wood back, and the plastic rolls it up tight, and then you pop your binder in there underneath it, and then you roll it over the binder again, put your glue on, and finish the roll, and then it comes out done, and then you put it in this tube that is a piece of plastic that's open on one end. So it's rolled up, and you unroll it, and you put it around your binder and your filler, and then you roll that in, and it tightens that up, and then you just put a piece of tape on it, and that's another way of pressing it. So I like that method, but I like the press a little better, I think. A little easier to I haven't gotten it down yet on the other one yet, but it still worked just fine. But I get a little more consistent with the press, and then the hardest part is putting that wrapper on. The wrapper is because they're very fine, they're thin. You got to get them real wet, and it's tough to get them to look nice. I mean, that is a heck of a skill that those people have that do that. Cutting it right, getting the right veins out of it, and wrapping it up and gluing it, and then of course, putting the cap on it.
The end cap seems always tricky to me. Yeah,
little tricky. There's a little flag that you put first, so you double up the head, so the head gets a little flag put on the top of it, and people do them different ways. Some of them do them just with the one, and then they twist the end and make that pigtail, or they cut it off. Yeah. But you cut that off, and then you put you got a little cutter, and you just cut a little circle, put some glue on it, cut the circle, and then put it on and then roll it over. It's they're real pliable, so they do come out smooth. And then once they dry, like the ones that I made a few weeks ago, once they dry, they look really nice. I'm like, wow, these things came out really nice. But I think they're going to need some age, because that tobacco I don't think is quite ready, because with all that ammonia that I'm smelling in them right now is telling me that tobacco probably needs to be aged a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Ben is asking which one of us came up with the idea for this. I think you and I talked about it. Yeah, we talked about it, and we just made it happen. and said Crispy would be awesome in this. He smokes as many cigars as we do, if not more.
Yeah, and the reason for it, Peeps, was not so much to get crypto guys into cigars, but to get cigar guys into crypto.
Yeah,
And because the cigar culture is, when you do go to a lounge or you sit down with folks and you do have a cigar, it's a great conversation piece, because you're going to sit down for, a good hour and a half, hour at least, and usually you have really good conversations. And whenever I'm in a lounge, it always comes up. Yeah, hey, what do you do? And once you start telling them, people get real interested in what it is that we're doing in crypto. And these guys, if somebody's going to sit down and smoke a $10, $20, $30, $40 cigar and has the time to do so, is probably somebody who's, got some money, got some, some gumption to go out and maybe do some investing. And so it seemed like to me a good crossover to break into the cigar world, because the cigar world is a lot like crypto. It's a disruptive kind of hobby. It's shunned. It's kind of a pariah. It's kind of like crypto. The YouTube algorithms. I was talking to the guy today. He has a stream, the Seth guy, and he was like, "Yeah, man, everything was great in the cigar and YouTube until about 4 years ago. They cut the algorithms, and they won't. They don't. It's hard to get the algorithms going right anymore. So they're kind of like in the same boat we're in. It's hard to get the word out on what they're doing, and the cigar world is completely different than the rest of the tobacco world. And I keep saying this, is that cigarette tobacco, vapes, all that is a completely different world than what goes on in the cigar world. You've got a lot of people and a lot of families that have been doing it for hundreds of years.
Cigar guys are somewhat annoyed having to look at vapes and bongs when they go in to buy cigars. Truthfully, I would rather go in and see a whole shop full of cigars than 75% bongs and vapes and cigarettes and the other 25% cigars.
Yeah, and so I think that there's something to be said about preserving this culture. And allowing it to exist and allowing it to thrive. It's a good business. It supplies a lot. Like I said, there's schools and communities built around cigar culture, and these people they don't make a lot of money doing it. Like I said, there's 300 hands that touch a cigar. So we sit here and we complain about a $30 cigar. But imagine, how much money actually, went into that, and the boxes, the bands, the growing of the tobacco, the troubles that they go through growing it. Some seasons they have bug infestations that wipe out their crops. Some seasons they don't get enough rain and they get bad tobacco.
Just like wine, yeah. There's great years on wine, and there's good, there's not so good.
Yeah, and cigar world is the same thing. So there are years where the cigars are good. If you can get cigars from those years, they're really good, because those were boom years. That's when the tobacco was growing, well. And these companies, like Placentia is like one of the biggest, growers out there. And they store this tobacco for years and years and years. It's once they do get it, what they call fermented, which is the removal of all the ammonias and all that stuff, to where you just get that. They know when they got it. I've never been able to get the leaves, but you see when you see some of these YouTubers now that are going out there and visiting Esteli and all these in Placentia and whatnot, and they smell that tobacco that's been aged for 10, 15 years, and they're just like, oh my gosh, the smell is so good,
Yeah.
and and they've got stacks and stacks of that, and then they have fires. I don't know what it is about the fires, but these big companies have fires often, and then a lot of their tobacco gets ruined. So yeah, it's just like wine, it's I don't want this to go out again. It's like wine, and it should be treated as such and not lumped in with vape. That's where I think us getting on YouTube, people talking about the companies and what they do go through. It's one thing to have a cigar and talk about cigars, but it's another thing to talk about the industry and what it means and preserving it, because tobacco's on the verge of I mean, look, in California you can't smoke a damn cigar anywhere, and it's hard to even open up a lounge.
Eddie is saying that St. Wolf smokes cigars. I would love to have him on this show. St. Wolf's also.
Yeah, it's funny how many people I'm finding in the crypto space that are actually cigar smokers.
Eddie also says that he has a humidor that holds 650 cigars.
Ooh, I need that.
yeah, that's a big humidor, Eddie.
That's a big one, Eddie. That is a big one.
You always go with the you just repurpose an old refrigerator, like Marcus was saying.
Yeah, I'm
as an option. Visually, maybe that might not be as good. Unless you get a vintage one, but
I get a 650 and I'll be blowing out of that one, and I'll be pissed off that I don't have a 1000, and I guess I gotta stop.
Yeah.
After this next
smoke war.
After this next order.
Just smoke faster.
Yeah, you can invite Crispy and I over, and we'll damage your supply.
Yeah, that's for sure. That is for sure.
Right, I used to smoke cigars and cigarettes for years. When I gave up cigarettes, I gave up smoking in general. Oh, good for you. Good for you. Yes. I gave up cigarettes, 28 years ago. Piece of chocolate. I always got to have a piece of chocolate. That was a 2-pack a day. And first thing I saw when I woke up was a cigarette, and the last thing I saw when I went to sleep was a cigarette.
Yeah.
But hand them out as gifts. Yeah, I would. I just don't know that many cigar smokers. My brother comes over every once in a while. I'll give him one and sit here and he'll smoke it with me, but he'll turn green on me and get halfway through a good stick and then have to go. That's one thing I hate.
Yeah, I always go over to one of my in-laws' houses with my wife, and why don't you have a cigar with blah blah blah, right? And I'm going, I don't know. The ones I have are all good, and he's going to smoke half and leave it on the table. I think I'd rather just leave them in the car and smoke them later.
Home Depot has
dead,
one.
You guys, mine's dead.
Look at you go. Yeah, I'm about there. I've still got a little smoke left.
Yeah, me too. I've still got an Irish cigar here. I'm good.
Nice. Oh.
I was impressed with this though. It wasn't bad. It had really good construction. That's for sure.
Yeah, I like when they don't fall apart. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, especially when they're this big, and also the short finish on it I really like. And again, those of you who don't know what a long finish and a short finish is it's when you take it in, you get the taste, the pepper, the spice, the whatever, and it lingers or it goes away quick. The way this one tastes, the actual short finish on it is really good.
Yeah, that was a great cigar. Mine was really good.
Yep, I can't say anything bad about the Monte Cristo white. And I've never been big on the knockoff Cubans or the Cubans, but maybe that's just my bias or whatever.
Mm.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. And what else do we got in chat? Eddie is saying clearance Home Depot for one is $500 to $700 regular.
Yeah, Home Depot's got a few of those cooler humidor, cooler humidors.
Yeah, I think the ones that are set up for cigars though, they're meant to keep cigars at a temperature, not food, right? So the one that I have is a cigar, looks like a mini wine fridge, but it's set up for cigars. But it's keeping them at 68 degrees, not 40 degrees, right? So it's nice. It's pretty good. I like it.
Yeah, I keep them at 70 and around 69 on the humidity.
Yeah.
And then when I pull them out, the foot is usually at about 65. And then you get like about a 67, 68 on the head, and they're good to go. That's where I like them.
It's perfect. Having St. Wolf on this would be awesome, though.
Yeah, I'd like to get St. Wolf. I think I did a stream with him one time. Yeah, we did a stream together one time.
He's a chill guy.
Yeah, yeah, we've got a lot of good streamers out there now. RH Max is killing it. His online convention was really cool.
And the Pulsex one coming up, that'll be awesome also. What do we got from Ben here? I went to my first cigar bar 2 years ago with Walrus when he was in town for a crypto convention. It was a good time. I had a cigar with Walrus in Panama. It was a highlight of my trip.
Yep, I was in one with him in Miami. We went to Panama together. At another one, yeah, Walrus is a good dude.
Yeah,
and loves his cigars.
He does. Does Crypto Coffee smoke cigars?
Not yet.
Not yet. He does. He's had a few. I've talked to him about it a little bit. But yeah, we can get him on too.
I've been jonesing to go to Dubai now, man.
I know.
A lot of cigar action there.
You know, in our little cigar group that we're in together, those guys were all making me jealous in Dubai, all the cigars they were smoking.
Mm-hmm.
They burn cigars, awesome sticks at awesome locations, right? The places that they're having cigars look unbelievable cool.
Unbelievable.
I think one of the pictures they put up, I think the guy was in Dubai, not Dubai, in Mumbai. Yeah. I saw the picture. I think I went to that lounge. I'm just not sure. Yeah, it was hard to find a place to smoke there. But the Four Seasons let you do it on the rooftop. And so I was kind of like thinking, was that a picture of the Four Seasons, or there's one of the big resort hotels there has an actual little cigar bar-ish area where you can go smoke. Yeah, so if you ever find yourself in Mumbai, you can find it.
That is a tough part of going to hotels is finding a place to smoke cigars.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes,
yeah, and I was surprised in Europe, especially in Spain and Portugal, which is like, that's kind of the center of where it all, it emerged, and of how little of places there were. I mean, you could smoke anywhere outside. It's not a thing. It doesn't like you can smoke in a cafe outside, and not bother. I always ask people around me if it's okay, and usually they're like, yeah, it's fine. But I was surprised at how very few lounges they had, and how scarce it was to even get a hold of cigars out there.
But those guys smoke cigarettes like chimneys.
Oh yeah, they smoke a lot.
There's way more cigarette smokers out there than cigar smokers. The ratio is different here. There are more cigar smokers, it seems like, in the States, and probably Dubai.
Yeah. No, any state I go to, I can find a good lounge somewhere.
Yeah.
I've had no problems finding a lounge in the States in any city I go to. But yeah, not so much in Europe.
Yeah, I've got my favorites across the country for sure. For sure.
Yeah, Vegas is the best.
Yeah,
it's good. It's good. It's good. I don't know if I would say it was the best, but it was good. I really enjoyed Baltimore. Believe it or not, Baltimore was awesome. Yeah, a couple places down there, and then the other one. Shout out to Kansas City folks. Right, they have Outlaw Cigar out there. Now that's some upscale stuff. I like that. Not upscale like money upscale, though I'm sure there's a lot of money there. But upscale as in how they treated everybody, and just the build out is just awesome of the actual place. The lounge. We're talking seating for 100. Leather, all done upright. Huge humidor. Really cool.
There was a shop that I went to. I don't remember the name of it. I'm looking it up online right now. That was at Scottsdale. That was unreal. How many cigars they had in that place. I'd never seen anything like it in my life.
Well, do tell.
I'm looking it up. It was wall to wall cigars, and it was a big shop with like end caps and stuff like that. It was set up like a store. It was unreal. But I don't remember the name of it. But it was a great shop. I'll look it up and see if I can find pictures of it. But it was an old school cigar shop too. It had everything that you could ever think of, and pipe tobacco.
Nice.
Now, speaking of pipe tobacco and Dunbarton, they Steve Saka. If any of you want to get entertained by somebody in the cigar world, Steve Saka of Dunbarton that guy is cool. He don't give a shit. He just tells it like it is. He's been in the cigar business for a long time. He's worked for many companies. He's got his own company, Dunbarton, now, and he makes no bullshit cigars. And he started out as a pipe smoker back in the day, and he actually likes his own cigars that he has rolled for himself. Is he puts pipe tobacco in his cigars, and now there's actually some cigars out there that are doing the same thing, because if you've ever had any of those, what are those? He actually collaborated with them, the Fat Betty and the. Yeah. Those are all. I think they took his lead, and all of their cigars they taste like sugar when you put them in your mouth. It tastes like sugar. So I think they have pipe tobacco in them.
I want to say it's this one online. If you take a look at it, I want to say it's this Highlands Cigars.
And where is it at?
It's in Scottsdale. It's It's got a ton of stock.
So, Pulse Ray, what's he going by today? Yeah, Pulse Ray. What's the best cigar for a novice? Well, I mean, there's a bunch. We talked about one earlier that's really good, which is one of my favorites to give people is the short story, the Arturo Fuente Hemingway short story. That's a really good beginner cigar. Perdomo makes one called the Champagne. That's a really good beginner cigar.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Ashton, that's a good beginner. Ashton Classic. I mean, they got some difference, but the classic one, that's a pretty good one.
Some of those small LFDs are good. The Jaime Garcias are good. Yeah. Just get something that's short and not a huge ring gauge until you find a flavor profile you like, and then you can go exploring.
Yeah, and if you find a lot of the Connecticut wrapper cigars are pretty light, but ask your tobacconist whenever you go into the humidor what would be a good one, and don't be afraid, to ask the person at the tobacco store, the tobacconist. They like helping people out. They're not gonna give you. They want you to come back and buy another cigar from them, so they're gonna set you up right. They're not gonna screw you over and give you something like, yeah, let's turn this guy green and send him off to the races. They're gonna hook you up.
Yeah. I'd add Hemingway series to that as well. Usually very light, reasonably tasteful, reasonably cheap, price wise.
Yeah, and Dominican cigars are usually a lighter cigar. So anything on that's if you look at the binder and the filler, if they're Dominican, then usually they're a pretty light cigar. And the Opus X. I mean, if you really want a good cigar, Opus X is a pure Dominican, and they're number 4, I think they call it. That's a really good smoke too. But those are expensive cigars. Those are anywhere from $40 to $80. You're gonna spend some money on an Opus X. But
and also freaking go in there and light a cigar and talk to the people that's inside. If you're in a lounge, light it up inside there and talk to the people. The RG3's right. People inside lounges love conversation, and they'll give you advice all the time.
Yep, they love new cigar smokers too. Yep. Mm-hmm. It's really a cool hobby community to get into. It's everybody's chill. Everybody's chill in the lounges, and you'll have a good time going and hanging out in one time.
Mm-hmm.
I know where Pulse Ray lives. I've been to his house. I'm not sure how close he's got a cigar place near his house.
Yeah, you might not have one close by, but I'll bet he does.
Yeah. I was in Hawaii last year. They not a lot of lounges around, but they have a mobile lounge. That you can actually call up and have them come out to your place or to a party or whatever, and just drives up with the truck, sets up on the beach, and off you go.
Yeah, that's cool. They're illegal here in California. I tried to set one up.
Really, a mobile lounge is illegal in California.
Illegal in California. Yep, you cannot have a mobile tobacco lounge in California.
I would be really curious if you could have a 420 friendly lounge, and if they allowed that, because I bet you they would.
You might.
Which is absolutely ridiculous.
Well, I don't think they can have. You can have weed lounges anyway, right?
Yeah, they don't call them that. That's right.
Yeah, they're just called that hot box in a trailer, right? I don't know what they would call that.
Yep. Well, I'm about done. I think we're 2.5 hours into this. We should probably call it, guys. I know it's getting late for everybody, and appreciate all of you coming. Well, we haven't picked next week. Did we decide what we're going to do next week?
It's the stakes moving, huh?
Oh boy, here we go.
Uh,
So the word on the streets is the word on the streets is they want to start filming again for the Highest of Stakes movie, part due. Hey, I'm game, guys. You know I'm game. Let's do it again. I would love to see it happen. And there's a lot of story that's been going on the last few years. All the people in it, all the characters, and of course there's more out there that we can add to it. What the community's gone through, what we've done. It's a great story. Highest of Stakes crew. I can't say enough about how good they are and what they do. I think it deserves another shot and another movie, and maybe it'll end up being a cult classic after crypto does do a moonshot. It'd be nice to have one come out during the bull market instead of being made during the bull market and come out during the bear. But yeah, guys, I'm game. Let's do it.
Awesome.
Yeah, look at those guys.
The only suggestions we had were Davidoff, or Smoke a Toro. Go with size again. That was from the chat. Or if we have any suggestions.
Pool party time? Yeah, sure. I got a little pool here that you guys want to have a party in. We can have a party. Get everybody over here and have a party.
Diving.
No diving. Actually, I got. You can do cliff diving here at my pool.
Oh man.
I'll have to do a video of the pool, let people see a little bit of it. Yeah, I put in a pool a couple of years ago. The end of the bull market, into the bear. We were working on putting a pool in, and we finished it about a year ago. And I live out in the desert, so it's nice having it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
My little oasis. Yeah, Playboy Mansion pool. Yeah, I don't know about that, but it's an old man.
The
pool,
grotto.
Grotto.
Yeah, I don't have a. Well, I do have a little grotto.
No diddy. No diddy.
No diddy. But yeah, I have a waterfall that goes over a little grotto area, I guess you'd call it, and jacuzzi sitting in there and everything. And yeah, we'll do a pool party.
Sounds relaxing. All right, you guys. Well, we can figure it out off stream in the room too. We don't have to decide right now. It's up to you.
Yeah. We'll make an announcement and put it out there on X or something, and let everybody know. If you got any suggestions, everybody throw some suggestions out there, and we'll come up with something. We'll come up with something. All right, everybody. Thanks for coming. Tomorrow is F and Hangout, and you're all invited tomorrow. We still do the F and Hangout. Friday night hangout is for you. That's the show anybody could come on to. We put the link out there. We've always done that. It's part of the community. It's helped grow the community. That's where we make Hexicans, and we'll be doing it again tomorrow. So thanks for coming, everybody. We'll check you out next time. Burn it all.